Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTube preppers, prepping outside the box. I'm Josh. We've got a nifty little topic here. Like I told you, we're going to get into the tactical side of it, I guess you could say, of preparedness. And this one's going to be titled Get Off the X. And those of you who know what we're talking about, kudos, join in the comment section. But if you don't, just pay attention real quick. Right before we do that, if you could go over there, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that's been helping me grow. Like I say all the time, I really enjoy it and appreciate it. Being able to grow as a larger group and being able to communicate and getting all these different viewpoints and everything, it's awesome. But without further ado, we're going to get into it. So, taking Get Off the X, we're going to split this into two different sections for you guys. It's going to be a foot, like an on-foot patrol, and a mobile section of it for getting off the X. First of all, what does it mean? What do I mean by it? So the X in this is representing conflict, right? It's going to be contact or an active or imminent danger, something along those lines, right? That is your X. Your conflict could be a staged or a complex attack, and all that means is that, well, for one, it could be, an ambush, but it could be a complex where they're just follow-on events or different varieties of ways that you are being attacked, right? So, we're going to do some considerations for mobile real quick. So first things first, it's the first thing that always gets dropped anytime anything bad happens, and it's communication. Communication is key. Communication is one of the most important things that you and your team will ever have to deal with. And it does. A lot of times it's one of the first things that's dropped. People just forget how to speak or what to say, right? So whether you're the lead or the follow vehicle in any of this, in your team, in your group, or whatever it is, information has to be relayed constantly, okay? So like we talked about in situational awareness, right? You're constantly taking in information. You're constantly gathering new information. It's constantly changing. And you're taking that information and you're relaying what's going on to the people in your vehicle, right? To the people in the vehicle behind you, in front of you, whatever it is. And it goes back to having that mobile PACE plan. We talked about that also. If you have not got one put together already, a mobile PACE plan will be different than your foot mobile one, possibly. And again, what I mean by PACE, if you don't know, go back and find the video. It's just your primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency lines of communication or plans. Anyways, so you need to understand and relay what is happening fast. And a good way to do this, and some people have heard this before, is an ADRAC. It's a military term for basically communicating what is going on. And it's alert, direction, description, range, assignment, and control, right? So all that is saying, and you don't have to sit there and start thinking about that and, oh, I'm going to give information to this guy, hold on, I'll learn which one's first, which one's second. It's really simple to break down. Just, hey, something's happening. It's over there, right? It's a team of 4, it's a vehicle, it's a roadblock, whatever it is. It's like 300 meters out, it's 20 meters out, whatever it is, right? Hey, this is what we should do. When do you want to do it, right? And that's just the breakdown. It's just a way to organize your thoughts and communicate clearly what you guys need to do. So anyways, with an immediate contact, if you have something that is actively going on, right? It's going to take the vehicle as a whole. So let's say you guys are driving down and the driver notices that the guy popped out of a side or girl, whatever, and shot at you guys. That needs to be something that is relayed extremely fast, right? And it's because maybe the guy holding your comms doesn't know what's going on. So the vehicle as a whole, throughout the entire thing, not just immediate, but throughout the whole entire thing, the people in your vehicle need to be paying attention and communicating short and quick. Nothing's going to be long-winded. It's just short, quick information. Contact left, right? You're just getting the information out there. The vehicle's alert. You know what's going on. Hesitation, especially in vehicles with limited ability for traversing terrain. Maybe you have a rear-wheel drive or whatever it is, right? There's different things, different terrains you have to cross, and all of a sudden go into deep ditches or whatever might limit your ability to reverse out or whatever you have to do to get away from the danger, right? So some of this stuff, hesitation, could cost you, loss in life. It could cause loss of gear. It can cause injuries and things like that. So keep it in mind that when things are happening, be decisive and make a decision, right? Know when to cut your losses. I will add this. Your stuff is not worth your life. right? So if you're sitting there going through and your vehicle gets disabled or whatever it is, and you guys are getting out of there and you've got to leave it behind, have your essential stuff with you. Your immediate can't live without, like small travel go bag, kit, whatever it is, at your feet, on you, whatever it is, the essentials you need so you could actually just get out of the vehicle and leave, have that on you. You can always ditch your vehicle, come back around, leave it and find new stuff. Whatever the deal is, it's not as important as your life. All right, so let's touch on foot patrols just a little bit here. So obviously, well, the first thing is that your ability to get off the X fast is going to be limited. You do not run as fast as a vehicle can gas up and get out, right? So it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, you'll be able to maneuver a lot differently than a vehicle. So if you have certain terrains, you could argue that you could still get out faster. But I'm just saying, for the sake of argument, that your ability to get off is going to be taking a little bit longer, right? Depending on your situation. Again, communication is going to be key. It's going to be one of the most important things. So you have to open your mouth and don't mumble. If something's going on, clear, concise, fast, right? Clear, fast information. I say that every time. Clear, fast information. Don't try to explain in detail and all this kind of stuff and all this long-winded talking, kind of like I'm doing now, right? Just clear, fast information, like we said with the ADRAC, right? It's something going on over there and all that stuff. Anyways, a good thing to do with this, and we're not going to do a lot of touching on foot patrols because a lot of the stuff does go hand in hand. And we're not training right now on it, we're talking about it, but train with your team, your family, your friends, all that kind of stuff. Work on peeling off the contact. You don't always have to, but maybe you have to work on pushing through also, right? So work on both. The tripod of conflict is shoot, move, and communicate, right? For dealing with it. Shoot, move, communicate. Something's always going down, some lead's always being flung down, someone's always moving, and you guys are always talking, right? It's not talking over each other. It's something that actually needs to be trained on. I could talk about it in a later video, but shoot, move, communicate. Everyone needs to be talking, everyone needs to be moving, not at the same time, and someone needs to be supplying some kind of a suppression, some kind of a cover fire, right? So shoot, move, communicate. Those things, it's a huge thing that needs to be practiced among teams because it does take teamwork, right? All right, it is super important for foot mobile to have your bearings, know your locations, know your routes, know all the other routes. You might be going from point A to point B and you've got your 3 ways to get there, but do you know the outside routes and terrain away from that also? Don't just know the route you're taking or could take, know other routes to do the same job, right? So know all these things, know what direction you're looking, know where you're going. You might have to modify on the fly, that's what I'm saying, especially with a vehicle or something like that. Know the town, the city, the street you're at. So if you had to avoid some kind of a roadblock or something like that, you could reverse out, you could go around, you could do some kind of maneuvering on your routes to still achieve the same job you're trying to achieve. Anyways, it could be, and this is interesting anyways, there could be a time and place for some kind of imminent X to turn into something advantageous like an ambush. And what I mean by that is, say you're on a foot patrol, say you guys are scavenging, you're going through buildings and houses or whatever it is, and you see people coming up, approaching. It's pretty obvious to me, well, maybe not to me, I don't know, can't judge a book by its cover, but maybe you know the surrounding people that are around you, groups that are around you, or you've confronted them before, right? So you can see if bad guys are coming, things like that, and maybe it'd be advantageous for you to turn what would be an imminent X for you guys having contact into something like an ambush. So maybe they're going to scavenge the same area and you could solve some problems earlier than later. Anyways, first thing to consider though, no matter what, and I'm not advocating for violence, I'd like to talk, like I said before, years down the line, in an SHTF situation, things got to be done, right? Violence is a tool in your toolbox. But first thing to consider, no matter what, is getting off the X, especially if you're in active contact. If it has happened to you, if you are getting shot at, you are getting ambushed, whatever it is, the first thing you should consider is getting off the X, because you are at a disadvantage when you are not the one initiating contact, okay? So going through all this, number one key takeaway, get off the X. Avoid the conflict. If it is not initiated by you, right? Maybe even if it is initiated by you, you guys don't have the upper hand. I don't know, but just take some of these considerations for mobile. Key takeaway points is communication, learning how to be short and concise and direct with all of your information, and then getting off the X. We can go over some more training things like that and touch on ways to push off the X and things like that later on. But as of right now, I want you guys to understand that communication and all these things are going to be key. You need to keep on it. You need to train with it. You need to practice with your team. Anyways, if you guys got any questions or comments or anything, I would be more than happy to answer them down in the comment section. But till next time, it's Prepping Outside the Box. I'm Josh, and I'll see you then.